Hi everyone. Oh, brilliant. Long time no see. Yes, I haven't posted a video for a while and I thought it'd be time to get back to the kind of beer reviews. I must apologise if you've been looking for them and there hasn't been any. And well, I won't apologise if you haven't. But yes, the situation is that I haven't posted a video since August 2020, and this is now February 2021, so quite some time. There has been justifiable reasons. Maybe you don't think so, but I certainly do. The main one was because we had to move house. That was a big problem, and it kind of things happened and transpired that we didn't really have that much time to kind of move house. We were renting basically a house in this area, and the landlord basically decided after the first lockdown to kind of cut their losses and put it up for sale because their circumstances had changed, which is great. That's fine, I can understand that. But the problem was though that it means that trying to find a house and move into a new house during a pandemic with lockdowns and other restrictions in the UK made it quite difficult and pretty stressful. Especially when it's a cases though that you've only got a kind of certain period, they give you a kind of notice period, and let's just say there wasn't that many options basically available, so we had to kind of do the best we can, and yeah, time was getting a bit stretched, as they say, but we managed to do it. And another thing we also had to do was just because again of the kind of lockdown and everything else that we've been getting in the UK, my main business, which is more in the kind of financial sector, well, it'd been affected quite badly. So basically our customers were shut, so and still are shut. So unfortunately we have no business if our customers aren't open. And with the kind of government kind of assistance, we don't qualify because it seems to cover all the kind of entertainment sectors and leisure kind of companies and leisure sector and things like that. Unfortunately, we don't qualify in that because we supply financial machines to the kind of leisure industry, but that doesn't class as a normal kind of supply chain. So we supply casinos, and casinos are shut, and we can't supply them. But the government says, well, that's tough. It's if you're supplying them with beer or food or whatever, that's fine. But because you're supplying them with financial equipment, and it's a casino, that they don't see that as a kind of connection. But anyway, so we decided to start a new business because we couldn't sit there and do nothing all the time. So we decided to start a pizza business and alcohol delivery business, laser supplies. And we had to get new premises and prepare the premises for food preparation and do all the kind of different kind of licensings and things like this and all the other kind of regulations and certifications and things like that. So we've taken a lot of time to do that, unfortunately, but it had to be done. So we will be starting our new business. It will be going live within a week, and this is the 5th of February, so it will be before the 14th. Before St. Valentine's Day, so that'd be a good thing. And that's what's been keeping us busy. But things have kind of calmed down now, we're kind of back to being settled, and there's been a lot of beers I still want to try. Now the last time we were kind of trying more kind of, we had two kind of situations going on. Starting off with the kind of more southwest kind of area beer. And we're still working on that because there's obviously still a lot of really good beers in the southwest we hadn't tried and hadn't kind of reviewed. And of course we're also looking at kind of cheap beers, cheap cheap kind of supermarket beers. The beers, whether are they good enough to kind of take on the kind of mainstream range of the kind of Stella Artois, the Amstels, the 1664s, all these different types of things, the Fosters, the Carlings. Is it better to go for some of these cheap supermarket beers? Are they as good and you're saving money, or the reason why they're cheap is because they taste bloody awful? So yeah, we've been looking at these kind of situations. So the first one we're going to do as a video is a supermarket one. Now, it isn't particularly cheap. If you look at some of the ones we've already reviewed, we think we did Ashfield Lager, and we did Galahad Lager and things like that. Well, this is a golden ale. Now, this is an interesting one because it can be come in as it ticks both boxes of the kind of series that we've been doing. It is a Southwest beer, and it is, I suppose, a supermarket beer, a cheap supermarket beer, but not from a cheap supermarket. So for normal people it's not so cheap, and for probably the people that shop regularly in the supermarket, then maybe it is. I don't know, but it's quite a strange one. But this one is it's organic, which of course is important. I honestly don't. How the hell, if beer is brewed properly, then of course it's going to be organic. If it's not brewed properly, then yeah, it's not organic. So I don't understand that. It started already. It really is. Some of the stuff annoys me. I don't know why it gets under my skin, because it's just claptrap. It's just marketing waffle, and I'm sorry, but people buy beer to drink beer, to enjoy the taste. They don't want the waffle. Well, I believe they don't want the waffle. They want good beer, good honest beer at a good honest price. That's what everybody kind of wants. That's what beer's about. It's a kind of more kind of working man's tipple, and a bloody good one at that. But anyway, so this is a organic one. I don't know if you can see it. It might not be so good, but this is a it's a Waitrose Duchy Golden Ale, and it's Goldens and Sovereign. Now, this is brewed in Oxford on behalf of Waitrose. I don't know whether it's actually brewed to any specifications for Waitrose, or Waitrose is just making a beer, or do you have a beer that you can provide that we can basically put our branding on. There's lots of different ways of doing it, so I don't know what their input is, but this is what it is. It's a golden ale, and the kind of information I've managed to find is self brewed by the Witchwood Brewery. So yes, it's the Hobgoblin kind of Marsden's brewery, and let's just hopefully it's say that it's maybe better brewed, or brewed maybe more the traditional way of the original Hobgoblins rather than the kind of present Hobgoblins, which are fine and everything else. I mean, I would put the Hobgoblins higher above Fosters and Carlings, but nowhere near as good as what they used to be, but still okay for the money, especially from that point of view. But yes, the Duchy from Waitrose Golden Ale, brewed by the Witchwood Brewery, which is in Oxfordshire, but it's right over on the border of the Cotswolds, so it's right kind of far west in the kind of Oxfordshire area. So yes, I'm counting that as southwest. That's a kind of cut-off point. But yes, so it's brewed in Oxford. Apparently it's a refreshingly light-bodied ale brewed with British wheat and organic hops. That's to what? Synthetic hops? I mean, what the hell does it mean? Don't get me started. The Golden Ale has been brewed using specially selected organic British hops. I'm still pushing the organic British hops bit. And malted barley. And a small amount of British wheat. So it's got a bit of wheat in it. So it's not a pure traditional beer, but it's got a bit of wheat into it. And apparently it delivers a refreshing finish. Now, here's some of the facts. It's a 4.2%. It comes only in a 500 ml bottle. And the price is £2.10. Now, when I went shopping for this, because this time, usually my wife, well, I don't send her, but when she's out, she gets me some beers, and I don't. But I actually went and picked these beers. I didn't read anything on the label apart from the areas where they came from, apart from this one, because it didn't tell us where the area was on the front label. But all the other ones that I have bought today for future reviews, they had to meet certain criteria of, they had to be a Southwest beer, or they had to be a kind of more budget supermarket own brand. But looking at all the ones that I've managed to do, because I bought 6 beers today, this one is actually the most expensive. At £2.10 it isn't the most expensive, so I suppose it's probably not as expensive. Some of the kind of Waitrose branded alcoholic drinks you could buy in Waitrose, but which is a more upmarket supermarket in the UK. But yes, this is the most expensive and interesting to see. Now, I'm so well prepared. I've got my notes, I've got my pen, I've got my bottle opener, I've got the bottle, but I've left the glass over there. So, one minute. Take advantage of having a quick blow of the nose at the same time. Professionalism, not. But anyway, yes, so the glass is there, and let's see what this is like. I'm doing well today. I haven't used this for ages. Let's see. Right, so. Doesn't really smell of much, really. Do you know what it smells me of? It just smells me of the distilleries when they're doing the mash, when they're basically brewing the mash for fermentation. It smells like that. I used to live next to a distillery. There's family history of distilling and things like this, Scotch whisky, isn't it? So it smells like that. So it's got the kind of smell of roasted, kind of roasted malts, but it isn't probably that. But it has got that kind of malty, cooked malt flavourings, and of course the barley. So it's got that. Can't really smell any hops really, and of course you're getting that kind of malted, kind of barley kind of smell, and probably the wheat that I think people associate as biscuity. Kind of digestive biscuits kind of smell. I don't think that's always the best kind of description, but never mind. But yeah, that's what it kind of smells of. So let's see how it pours. Well, anyway, but yes, so yeah, you're just getting more of the digestive biscuits, the barley, the wheat, the malt. It does actually smell like the distant waft of the distillery when I grew up, but yes. As for carbonation, I don't really bother about carbonation. If it's over carbonated, then you'll know about it. But you can see the carbonation's not too bad. Decent enough head, about a finger. It's not overly tight head, so it's not a smooth or creamy beer. It's not got small kind of carbonation bubbles. These will be probably, well, I don't know even what type of condition they probably do. I mean, it's a mass-produced beer, which of course which wood brewery really is kind of nowadays. There may be exceptions, but the main things being brewed are kind of hobgoblin range, and they are more mass produced now. So, it's not giving away much. Smell wise, there could be a slight caramel smell, but I'm looking for it rather than actually it hitting me in the face. But yeah, maybe kind of a hobnobby kind of situation. But let's see what it tastes like. It has got some flowery notes. It's got the kind of rosiness of the kind of flowery note, but not strong flowery. Just a kind of mild, very mild one. And you are getting a kind of malted, I don't like using the term biscuity, but or kind of hobnobby or digestive, but it is a kind of malty kind of aftertaste in the kind of the air in the back of the mouth. there's not much sweetness, really. It's not bitter as a way of like bitternesses of that, but obviously, yes, the alcohol content is actually quite low. It's a 4.2, not for a nail, but I suppose 4.2 is not so bad. But it's kind of in the lower scale, around about 4%, 3.8 to 4.2 is the kind of lower end of these type of kind of ales. And you're expected to have a bit more sweetness because of that. So it's not got that. It's kind of nondescript in a lot of ways. It's okay. It's an ale. A lot better tasting ones with a lot more kind of distinct kind of tasting notes in there. It's quite generic. It's slightly flowery. I mean, very, very mild flowery. No real sweetness to it. A kind of malty kind of finish. And really nothing much in between. Really. Nothing kind of from the initial, when it hits the front of the mouth, the tip of the tongue. You get the initial flavour and then you get the flavour from the back of the tongue. But there's nothing over the top. Nothing at all, really. It's just generic beer. Right, how would I rate it? It's okay. It's unoffensive. It's not brilliant. It's not horrible or bad, but it is very kind of bland and run of the mill. The problem is though, like I said, I bought 6 bottles today and this was the most expensive at £2.10, which again isn't that an expensive price for 500 ml. But if you look at the list that we will be reviewing later on, we've got Exmouth Gold from Taunton, we've got Butcombe Gold Bitter from Bridgewater, we've got the Blandford Fly, which is Badgers, and Blandford Forum in Dorset, and that's an award-winning beer. And then of course we've got Dartmoor Legend, again an award-winning beer, and you've got Dartmoor Jail Ale, which again is another award-winning beer. So that's 3 there out of that are all cheaper by, well, one's cheaper by 20 pence and 2 of them are cheaper by 11 pence. And trust me, they're going to have flavours. They're going to have distinct tasting notes and everything else. These are good beers. They've won the awards to prove them. The thing is though, well, there's things about that anyway, but this, it wouldn't win any awards, I can assure you of that. Unless there was a award, then yeah, it would be a contender, absolutely. Well, the gold winner of the award is, I can't even remember the name, Duchy. I think they're pushing the Duchy bit because again, I don't know why. The Duchy of Cornwall, maybe, I don't know. I know it's a cases if you go to Poundby, this is the Duchy of Cornwall area, and I've got a nice big Waitrose there. But yes, overall, at £2.10, would I buy it again? No. Would I recommend other people to buy it? No, it's up to you. Give it a go, give it a try. It might suit your palate, but my view, I wouldn't really bother. For the money, you can buy a heck of a lot better out there in the same store, which is quite frightening. But yes, at £2.10 compared to the other 5 I bought, no, I would expect these ones to be better. But I will stand around and say if they're not. But going by reputation and price, I wouldn't really rate this. Out of 5, what would I give it? I would probably give it I'd give it a 2. No. I'm going to give it a 1.8 because for the price and everything else, it's not really doing anything at all. It's unoffensive, but it is what it is. It's just nothing really that great. So yeah, I'm going to give that 1.8 out of 5. And if you want to know from the beer of the Untapped beer app, they gave it a 3.16 out of 5. So they could have rated it a bit higher, but I'm sorry. It just doesn't have enough there to kind of justify that. It really doesn't, in my view. There's no real distinct flavour, there's no real kind of things you can really identify. It's a very kind of generic smell and a very kind of generic taste. So there you go. So, thanks for watching this video. It's nice to be back and tasting some beers again. It would have been better if we actually started off with a better one, but there is some good ones coming up like I've listed below. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye for now.